A question one might have, especially if they were still thinking that magic is some exotic category in the world, instead of remembering that magic is natural and ordinary, a question that might arise is, does this particular method I heard about work? Does tarot work? Does engaging with chakras work? Does becoming a millionaire work? Does folk medicine work? Does changing the weather work? Does lighting a candle with a power word on it work? Does getting buff work? Are there such things as light bulbs that never go out? The answer up front is that in magical theory, everything works and nothing works. Let's talk about what I mean by that. First of all, one has to define what it means for something to work. In the magical formula, appearances are called. An appearance is a defined human experience. The world is basically a set of appearances that are running and or have emerged due to the agency of individuals having induced those appearances. Humans desire a given experience. We employ method to attempt to get that experience to play in the world. Often we are successful. Often it seems we are not. You may still be thinking of effectiveness in terms of objects and their mechanisms. Thus, in assessing tarot as just one example, one cannot comprehend the mechanism in the object of cards that would have the capacity to deliver a message. Thus, the conclusion is that it could not possibly work. If your body is an object and you mechanize it to buffness, then this leads to whatever you believe buffness is connected to in terms of your rescue from inferiority. Magic understands that there are no objects, nor are there mechanisms. Mechanism is not a price one has to pay for magic or appearance. In magic, we understand that there are beings one can encounter, converse with, come to knowledge and intimacy with, which is energy and power sharing, and only then, after trustworthy cultivation of relationship, have the privilege of influence with. Influence is about the capacity of an influencer. Magic is the development of the magician. Magic is not without. Magic is not applying mechanism to object. Magic is within. You are the magic. Ponder this as, again, just one example. Why in the heck would one go for a love potion instead of living the knowledge of loving another human? In this case, a love potion is not magic, but rather an expression of one devaluing the humanness of oneself and of the one loved. Why collapse the potential of a varied and deep experience of love over time into a bottle of instantaneity? And by the way, while love potions may be out of style, we often attempt magics, or as we think, that serve the same purpose to induce instant love, or as we imagine. This type of effort is a complete misunderstanding of the magic of love, not to mention the disrespect of failing to submit to master love and or to the one loved as one's master. Even if a potion manipulated some portion of energy, one would always be aware it was not the formula for actual love, and one would still be devoid of the rescue one sought. Empty inside. I mean, we've all been there, so no judgment. But let's be clear. Magic regarding the desire for love is actually the knowledge that allows one to cultivate a garden of love over time. Love is not a final destination, but a daily journey. Going back to tarot, even if one quote unquote believes tarot works, there may be a misunderstanding in that as well. If tarot is for the purpose of receiving a message from the universe, one might understand magic more clearly in understanding that the universe itself is just one big fat message, and messages oozing out of anything and everything. And even more clearly, all message is from oneself to oneself. You are the sender and the receiver of any messages. Everything works. Nothing works. Become the magician. You work. John Bell, the CERN physicist, said that there are no isolated systems. Every particle of the universe is in instantaneous connection with every other particle. The entire system, even at apparent huge distances, works as a unified system. We may be in the habit of understanding cause and effect mechanistically and linearly. In magic, you are the cause. Whatever cause you intend is what you will put into the world. Anything that appears as mechanism is just that, an appearance, an inducement of change based on the art and knowledge one has. But there could just as well have been another so-called mechanistic path to an appearance, because the world is a non-linear net which is primed for the emergence of response to intention. If we don't currently have a particular answer or mechanism, it only means we do not yet have the question, nor the purification of our sight that would allow for that answer. The cause, the desire, the influence, the call is yours as a human, as a magician. Magic is by knowledge, knowing yourself and knowing another, not by mechanism. Release the debris of believing and thinking that appearance comes by ways. The development of the magician is the purification of one's understanding that creation of world emerges from within the energy of the Creator and only subsequently expresses outward into what we might call the world. This is not mechanics, but the sacred relationship of one's being to one's illusory body avatar, that is our boat for the water of this world.